and welcome to the God is Geek podcast. My name's Adam Cook and I'm excited to be here with your weekly dose of video game chat, news, shenanigans. I'm joined as ever by Christopher White.
Hello. That was lovely.
All right. I'm running out actually. Like we've got back to being regular weekly podcasts, and that kind of means I've run out of interesting or just be honest, weird ways of introducing you. So I think we're going to draw a line under it. Say I won, and I'm just going to call you Chris from now on. Is that right?
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm going to keep bringing it. So.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
We're joined also, obviously, every week as well. It's Adam Carroll. How are you, mate? All right?
Stunning. I also would like to say that I think every podcast ever starts off ropey.
Okay, that's not... I mean, I'm not sure what you're suggesting there. I thought that was a phenomenal opening. Strong.
No, you're fantastic, Adam. You're fantastic.
You're saying every other... You just didn't say other. That's what you must have forgotten.
Like, our one is perfect. We start every podcast, like, flawless.
On fire. There's never any mistakes cut, never. Is there, Gary Bailey? All right?
Not at all.
It's just made it sound like you made a mistake. It was me. It's been cut. Let's move on. How are you guys? All right? You good?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Good. It's a lot happening, mate, isn't there? I tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've been.
Games.
Yeah, as I say, you've been the busiest member of the team, and we will get to you. But I'm going to start this week because we always talk about chatting games, and I'm going to ask Adam Carroll what would be his most anticipated Switch release right of now.
I'm going to say Bayonetta.
Are you? Well, I'm playing Bayonetta 2, so...
Fantastic. See that? I didn't know that at all.
No, of course not. Does 2 count?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Has everyone here played... Because Bayonetta's a series that is pretty much widely... Everyone just loves it, right? That's... I think...
I have never
played
I don't
it.
know.
I've
never played it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you two can't actually officially call yourself games journalists then, I guess?
No, I'll grab my coat.
because I just know that Devil May Cry is better.
Fighting words! Fighting words!
See, yeah, I know, I agree. I'm talking about, of course, the original release of Bayonetta 2. I can't possibly give a reviewable verdict on Bayonetta 2 for Switch. I can talk about it in a preview sense.
I can, 10 out of 10.
Okay, I mean, you sure can. You sure can. So Bayonetta 2 and I have a strange relationship because I think Bayonetta 2 is generally a fantastic game. But so much about it makes me feel really uncomfortable. Like, it's almost like, sometimes it's like watching porn and someone walks through the room and goes, just openly watching porn, are you? And you're like, well, no, it's a video game. She just happens to fight with her hair and moan and groan and stuff and be sexually suggestive, you know?
Let's be honest here now, right? If someone walks in and sees someone playing Bayonetta and just goes, are you watching porn? And with the colour and the carnage that happens on screen, I would like to turn around and go, what fucking porn are you watching? Because
to be fair, though, you obviously haven't seen the Overwatch, what they call it? Parody porn, is it, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I haven't either, but like...
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have.
No, that stuff happens.
Stop it.
For journalistic research, I've genuinely considered it, but I could not look at myself in the mirror after doing so. I mean, it goes back to the time when a colleague of ours, who's no longer with us, and by that I mean works for someone else now, not dead, tried to watch VR porn, and that didn't go well. And like when you think about that, that's not just someone at home doing VR porn on their own. That's 2 men watching VR porn, and that's somehow weirder. But we didn't achieve, which sounds weird as well.
That is totes ox.
Yeah, it was, especially because my wife had taken the kids out, and it was kind of a rush against time.
What, the kids were in the house?
No, they were out. She'd
right.
taken them out so we could... She knew what we were going to do. Obviously, I opened my
Jesus Christ, move on to Bayonetta, my man.
Sure. Bayonetta 2. So, I guess, what do people want to know? I mean, it runs very smoothly, like, in a preview sense. It runs very smoothly indeed. Like, it's trouble is my memory's shit, so I want to say it runs a little bit better than the Wii U version because it seems to be 60 frames pretty much. I mean, the cutscenes never were, but the action, you know,
it was like that though on the Wii U. I remember finishing Bayonetta 2 and saying that was probably the best looking game I've played.
See, that's I think in a preview sense where you might be disappointed because I am not Digital Foundry. I haven't got my pixel counters out, but I will say that it looks a little bit dated on a nice big
Already?
screen. Well, it was never the most pretty game. You think about the hardware it was running
I don't
on.
know, man.
You see, I remember it looking better than this. But then is it that thing of, oh yeah, rose-tinted glasses? I don't know. I do have the Wii U version, and I have my Wii U here, so I might try and,
I remember being a big step up from the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
And I thought the enemy design and everything was seriously mental.
Yeah, none of that. I don't mean like in terms of art design. I think that's all fantastic. Again, I'm not Digital Foundry, so I don't know for sure. I would guess, if I were to do so, that this is running at 720p. And upscaling a 720p image, I mean, I'm using a 4K telly. It's not rendering in 4K. Obviously, the Switch can't do that. But it's upscaling to 1080p on the TV or via the Switch. Or I don't really know what's going on. And I would say there's quite a lot of jagged edges around the textures, which is better when you play it in handheld mode.
No,
because obviously the screen's smaller.
That is something I want to know about this. Playing a game of this style in handheld mode, is it possible? Like, obviously it's possible, but is it comfortable? Because
initially, no.
I'm going to say I want the Pro Controller for this.
Yes, that's how I ended up playing most of it. But then in a preview sense, I might have finished it or not. I don't know. But I played, I'd say a quarter of it in a preview sense on the handheld mode with headphones on. And I never really appreciated how good the sound effects are, and there's some terrific music in there as well. But I will say it's definitely playable in handheld mode, but it takes a little bit of getting used to, because there are moments. See, this is why I prefer DMC to Bayonetta 2 in general. I don't mean the Switch version, just as games, because I always feel completely in control of DMC, and I felt like I would do combos and stuff in that game that I had learnt, and the weapon switching, whereas in Bayonetta I never quite felt I don't know that in control's fair, but I never quite felt like I sort of would end up resorting just to mashing a bit, and I don't normally do that.
Yeah, well, like only after playing DMC recently, like the controls and that are at its best. Like that is the best, as I said before. Bayonetta I do remember it feeling like there is the whole combo thing, but it is.
Oh, definitely.
It does become a bit of a button mash fest. For the most part.
But a lot of that is because I think so much is... I mean, in terms of spectacle, like Bayonetta 2 is insane. Like the game... Again, I'm not talking about the Switch version. I'm just saying that in terms of spectacle, it's just ridiculous what's going on in that game. So I think that makes it harder to... You have to maybe have better eyesight than I've got. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Bayonetta too long because, in a preview sense, obviously.
Of course.
But to be fair, they've added stuff that I haven't checked out yet. I've mostly been loading it up every day and going to the shop and just scanning my amiibo to make sure I get loads of stuff. I will say that if you've got 32 amiibo, which probably most people haven't, but you can scan 32 a day and you will get a lot of items, and it will make the normal mode very easy. Although I don't think it's that difficult a game in normal anyway.
It's not as difficult as the first one.
Yeah. But I mean, talking of old games though, Ad, we can bring Chris and Gary in here a bit now, because they just shut out because they haven't played the glorious Bayonetta 2 that everyone, I will say that previewing this has made me more excited for Bayonetta 3, which a game I never thought I'd see. Before
we just move away from Bayonetta, can I just ask, do you think that this game will bring in a newer audience?
100%, because they got. It's weird seeing a game boot up that says Sega, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think what Team Little Angels, Platinum, whatever. Yeah, it's strange because Sega must presumably somewhere still own part of Bayonetta. Mm-hmm. So what that means for Bayonetta 3. But I think it will, because you only got to look at the developers coming out and saying, I think Celeste was one where I think that they've said it's sold most on Switch. That's insane.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Because it's out on Steam too. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. So I think it will bring a new audience. And again, I can still segue. You won't stop me that easily. Shadow of the Colossus. There's been some weird stuff written about this game. Has anyone seen it?
No.
People saying why does this need to be done? It's well, why does anything need to be done?
I've read the complete opposite.
Have you?
I've kind of because as I said, I have not played this game. This is going to be my first time playing Shadow, and I am super excited. And obviously, it came out to glowing reviews and everything.
Yep.
But listening to other people on their podcasts, whatever, a lot of people who have played the game again, it's almost like I don't know, people are really overwhelmed by the game.
Right.
I've been like, it almost seems like everyone has been playing it for the first time and they're just like, this game is just, like, I've heard things that it's the best looking game on the PS4.
It's not, Adam. I've heard this too, and I'm sorry, it's just
I
not
know.
It's not.
I do look at it and I'm kind of like, wow, that looks incredible, but
Yeah.
the best looking?
I mean, maybe stylistically, artistically, maybe it's up. Like, even then, I mean, Chris, you played this back on PS2, right?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
So you loved it
Yeah.
first time round.
Oh, God,
Did you play it second time around on PS3? I mean, they've now released it on their last 3 consoles.
I dabbled on it because I think it was on PS Plus once. It was that with Ico.
it?
Yeah, because
That's right. Yeah, it was a double pack thing they released.
So,
yeah.
but I didn't really play it through again. No. The first time I played it PS2, and I absolutely loved it. I think it was an incredibly kind of moving game, but it's been so long that I can remember bits and pieces of it. I remember like the ending and the beginning and bits in the middle, but to play it all through again, I've forgotten a lot of it. So I won't be one of those comparing it to the original. I'm just.
I thought you were going to say something else then when you said it won't be one of those cut.
But no, I think it. I think it'll do very well. I think it does have that appeal where it will appeal to new people because it's such a good game, and with it having the capabilities on the PS4, it is like a new game. It is a new game because it's been completely remade. So yeah, I just think people need to chill out, just enjoy it, just stop moaning about it.
What about you guys? Have you played this before?
I have, yes, both
And
PS2 and PS3.
I would imagine you loved it.
Oh yeah,
I would imagine it's
Brilliant
difficult
game.
not to love it if you've played it.
yeah,
Actually,
it's a stunning game. The only reason I'm not getting the PS4 one is because I played it on PS2 and PS3, and I don't need to play it again yet. I'll pick it up later on, I think.
I would actually say it's a more essential purchase for people who've got a Pro, because playing it at 60 frames for the most part, that's kind of what made me feel like, because I think although when they put these modes in the games where you can choose between performance, and Monster Hunter does this, but performance and graphics, I think most people are going to go for performance to just get that smoother gameplay, aren't they? Or am I wrong? I mean, maybe because I play PC games. You know,
I mean, I tend to favour performance a bit.
You want the
more
higher
on
frame
PC.
rate, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not really a frame rate person, but there's something about the PC ones, you just kind of, it feels, especially if you're playing something like mouse control, you really want the smoother. But
I also kind of think that if by going from say 30 to 60, if you're sacrificing that much visual fidelity, like the textures are that shitter, there's a problem. I don't think the difference is that stark, and I don't know. I mean, back to Adam's point about people are talking about it for the first time. What I would say about that is that you got to remember this game's well over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I think what that means is that a lot of games writers now were perhaps 13 to 16 when they played it before, and that's being generous. And they're now 23 to 26 at least. And I think the older you get, you either go one or two ways. You become more empathetic towards people and you feel bad for everything you can't change in life and end up hating yourself and everyone. Bit too close to home. Or you end up being a complete cunt and just basically like, I hate everyone in a bad way, and not in the good way I just mentioned. that wasn't quite the Super Mario speech of the Game of the Year podcast I was aiming for. But what I mean by that is that when I don't know how old would I have been when did this come out? Can anyone remember? I think I even put it in the review. How many years are we talking? Is it 15? I think it's nearly 15.
I think it was about 2002, wasn't it? Ish.
Okay, so I want to say it's in the 90s.
I think it was because the PS2 only came out in like 2000.
Okay, I'm sure it's 15 years. Which puts me.
It came out in Japan in 2005, and then in Europe in 2006.
Okay, so it's 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would have still been in my sort of mid to late 20s, but a lot of people coming up into the games media sort of thing would have been teenagers. And I think even then you think, wow, this is an impressive artistic endeavour, this game. But I think when you get a bit older and you play it and you understand more about everything, we all think we know the answers to everything at 15 and 16, and we all look back and 10 years later and go, God, what a cock that lad was. You didn't know anything, mate. You know what I mean? And I think this game, I must admit, even for me, as an older guy in sort of the industry, I found that killing these Colossi, I didn't want to do it. Because it's rough.
Straight off the bat, that is an interest, because that's what I was about to say, okay? That exact line that you said, for me, a person who has never played the game, I personally feel that has been a slight spoiler.
No, it is. And I nearly said something after that sentence that I would have regretted saying. You're right.
It really sucks, because every single review that I have, briefly read or whatever, have all said that exact same line. Even on certain podcasts, they've been like, it feels terrible. And I'm like, I never, out of all the time of this game existing, I never knew that you were supposed to feel that way when you play this game. And it kind of sucks now that I'm going to go in knowing that.
Well, I would say that maybe I should have explained clearer that I'm not going to pretend the horse is bolted here. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit late for me to start going, oh, no, what I meant was, because I think
of course,
it's accidental. There is a reason you feel bad, but the reason you feel bad the first time is because some of these things don't attack you. The story goes...
They just walk on... Yeah.
Yep, they won't attack you. Some of them are docile. They're just wandering around, and then it's only you attacking them that kind of starts the combat puzzle. But the story goes, you basically come into this strange foreign land, mystical place. It always felt mystical. And you've got this girl who you don't know anything about. There's no dialogue at this point. You just put her down. She's either dead or ill or whatever. I think it's quite clear she's passed. And there's this voice that just says... You want her back? You've come to the right place. It doesn't say this exactly, but I'm paraphrasing. You want her back?
You want her back, boy?
Yeah, that would be some game. Basically, yep, sure, I can do that for you. Go kill these Colossi, and that's all you're given. But even within the first 3, there's one that doesn't attack immediately. I think I'm trying to remember now. I played recently still, but so that's what I think people are meaning when they say they feel bad. I
definitely, but it is one of those games that even video reviews and stuff, I wouldn't go near it, because even seeing these massive things,
spoilers.
It's spoilers. It's all spoilers.
That is the game.
So it's a really, it's kind of disheartening going into it knowing this, if I'm brutally honest.
I would say
I don't think that will stint.
It won't, unless you've had the end spoiled, which I'm obviously not going to do here.
No,
you'll be fine. You'll still get the impact.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I will say, with our video review, if anyone is curious, I literally used, I think, the 3rd and the 4th Colossi, and there's no dialogue. It's just literally fighting. And I put one of them in there because I thought, God, I forgot how cool this looks, and it looks amazing. Because it's difficult, because half the people buying this are fans, and half the people will be like, oh, I love my PS4, this looks cool, I've heard of this. So it's what do you show? You can't not spoil it, unless you just literally have the video of you running around in a field with aggro. You'll wander, the horse is aggro, and you're just running around in circles for a 10-minute chat, But it's still fantastic. I still think the camera's a bit dodgy, but yeah.
Yeah, can I just ask there, with you going back to this game, did it in any way make you say to yourself, I might give The Last Guardian another go?
No. Okay. No, because I played The Last Guardian. I finished it.
Yeah.
That game is
I'm not going to...
painful. It's the most painful game I've ever played in my life. But I didn't hate it. I think it was a really good looking game, and it was a really beautiful story. But it absolutely ruined it for me. The controls and the camera angles were just dog shit.
Oh, you've just reminded me. Controls. If you are playing this for the first time, make sure you're using the modern new controls. I actually have genuinely forgotten which way it starts you out in this game. I can't remember if they default you to the original, but whatever it is, go in and make sure you're using the new controls, because the old controls suck, especially in modern terms. They're not good. Apart from that, I've dabbled. I've been playing. I can't talk about it yet, but again, it's one of those weird situations where it's the game's out. I'm playing Owlboy on Switch, so we'll talk about that soon.
Cool.
Talked about Bayonetta. Celeste, I've gone back and done some of the B-sides, and one of them I died more than any other level bar one. And listen, sometimes with games like this that come out, you give them 10 out of 10. and you move on, and people are like, oh, you forgot about that game you gave 10 out of 10 to. I'm still in the process of thinking this game is a serious Game of the Year contender, and it's February. Like, this, seriously, I can't fault it. I'm still like, what? When did our review of that go up? A week ago at least? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I still cannot find a flaw with it, and that's rare. And I've also played a bit of PES, but we'll skip that because, like, I talk about PES too much as it is. And we will say, Gary, what the hell have you been up to, Gary?
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Battlegrounds on PC. I mean, it's nice to be back on the PC version.
Will you play the Xbox version again?
Yes.
Why?
I do. I don't know. I like the comfort of the Xbox version. So I can't entirely explain it.
I'm gonna have to push you to try because
I don't know. It's. I don't know. It seems a little easier. There's no cheating on it.
Well, okay, now that's fair. Yeah,
that is probably the biggest part.
You tweeted, or did you tweet, or in our Slack say something about an aimbot? Did you check the kill cam to see?
Did, yes,
because you can tell.
Oh yeah, you can really see it.
It's beyond rife at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, because I mean, there was one point I was downstairs in a building. This person was sat in like a bathroom or something. I was running up the stairs, and they were sat behind a wall, so they couldn't have even seen me enter the next room. But they were already aiming. You know, you could see it moving to exactly where I was, and it's just like it's so frustrating when it happens. Sometimes it's definitely like you watch and I'm like, is it? But then you realise like, no, they're actually just a really good aim. And
there are good players out there.
But it is so much better technically on the PC. But I mean, you'd expect that anyway.
Yeah.
But the fact,
how are you finding the second map? Because do you remember what I said? I think when we did our multiplayer video, I was saying about how like you can tell the second map they paid artists to come in and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little harsh on the original map. I still really like that, but no, it does look better. But it's weird because I mean, I was reading stuff lately where people have been complaining about that second map. They really don't like it,
right?
And basically the reasoning is it's too different. It's like, well, yeah.
Okay.
They don't like that it's more open. They don't like that there's not as much tall grass and stuff like that. And it's basically the reason you don't like it is because you're not as good. Because you can't like hide in the grass. You can't do this, that, and the other. It's like, well, you know, you learn it. I mean, at the same time, the developers have said, okay, we'll add some new buildings and stuff like that to it to kind of even it out a bit.
Right.
Which is, you know, it's fair enough because there are a lot of big open spaces. And, you know, if you've got a few more areas where you can loot and stuff as well, it's always a little bit nicer. But it's just a very, very bizarre complaint.
Yeah.
But the actual game, I mean, it's nice to be able to aim.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I'm by no means particularly good at it. But just the fact that I can aim a little bit more, there's a bit more sensitivity to it. You know, I don't know. It's a little bit awkward on the Xbox, as you know. It's getting there, but it's not the same.
I'm fascinated in that you're sort of... You're in a similar place to me. Like, I mean, you've been playing it because, you know, by the time this podcast goes up, we'll have a sort of review of it. We'll have one up. So that's, you know, it's out of early access on PC. You know, you've played it plenty. The review will be up. But like, what I find fascinating is that someone like Adam is dead excited. He wants to play it more. He doesn't have an Xbox One or a gaming PC. But Chris has played it on PC, and we both enjoy playing together. Yeah. And now has it on Xbox. But I would. Do you play it much? I mean, I know we'd like to be fair. Everyone's busy, but do you play it much, or is it? I you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there are games out there which I can dip in and out of. PUBG, at the minute, I've not played it since we did the multiplayer thing.
Yeah,
it's not that I don't like it. In fact, I love it, but I only ever really want to play it with people that I know because I just find it's more fun. Like that multiplayer, so much happened in that last game. It was insane. Like there was the Jeep on the hill, then there was running to survive, where you two got up front and I kind of died in the bloom. You know.
Oh yeah,
that all happened in one game. So it's great, but I wouldn't dip in and out of it again unless you guys was like, oh, do you fancy a game? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. But I just think it's much more fun with people you know. I think definitely. It's a great game, but I just haven't got the time or the will to go and play it on my own.
That's where it surprised me, because it's just like I'm not a competitive online gamer at all. I suck at these shooters, always have done. But there's something about the survival aspect of this one that makes me want to play it. To the point where I'm actually enjoying playing it a lot. This will be dating the podcast a bit, but today I got third, which, I'd never expected to ever get that kind of level.
But PUBG is like, the thing is I don't mind solo in that, and I'm the same as you. I'd rather play with people.
Yeah.
But everyone else is in the same boat when you're playing PUBG. Like, everyone is solo.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things, because it's separate. The squad stuff, so you know that everyone else is in the same boat, whichever mode you play.
Yeah, it's not like you're matching in as a solo against a squad of 4. Like, everyone is solo,
Although there is a one-man squad
there is,
option,
yeah.
But I'd never do that, because...
Why would you do that? That would be some chicken dinner if you won that.
It's so much fun. It's just one of those... I've said it before, it's a phenomenon. I think we all know that. And
I see less of it now online than I used to.
Yeah, it's kind of like Monster Hunter, I think, is
fair.
The one that's going... I think it's going to be that one. I think PUBG is just that one that'll always kind of be just there.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get the big game each month, or one that people will play for like a few months or something. Fortnite and that as well, actually, is another one that's on that same level now as PUBG. I think it'll kind of always just be there, waiting for those people that back to it.
Yeah, I think there's even an audience like me who are just really wanting to play it, as Adam said, and we're like, I'm still waiting for it to come on the PlayStation or something,
You're going to be waiting a while there, mate.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, sure. I've Monster Hunter, I'm okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean that to sound quite as gloaty as it did to come across. It was. I don't think it is going to come to PS4, is it? I don't know.
I'm on the fence with that, because I'm not sure. With Microsoft essentially funding this Xbox version, and I with all the kind of rumours floating around that they're looking at new studios to buy for exclusives, that's one of them. And it's I'm not saying it'll happen, but you never know.
I do think it will happen, but as you said, Adam, it will be a while.
Yeah, it'll be at least a year.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's just, any exclusive that has come to others, it's always been a year, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Out of curiosity, you're waiting for it to come out on PS4. Adam. Yeah. Have you played Fortnite? Have you done the battle?
Yeah, I actually have, and I went in thinking that this is pretty much like PUBG, and then when I started, I was like, what the fuck is the building about? I'm honest, I'm not a fan of the building aspect of it. It's not for me. I love how, I know people might go mad by saying this, but I love the simplicity of PUBG. I love the idea behind it, and I know Fortnite does that, but I don't need more within that. And the building stuff it throws me off, because I'm not creative in that way when it comes to a game. That's why I don't ever play Minecraft. I never really liked it, because if I start building things, I'm building them with no purpose. I'm just building a wall, and I'm like, but everyone's behind me, and I'm building the wall the fucking wrong way. So that's just what happens. But I do know, I love the look of Fortnite, and I do think it is a pile of fun, and I think it's great that it's out there and kids can play it and it's suitable for them, but just not for me right now, I think.
I was just curious, because it seems to... The popularity of that game rose an awful lot while people were waiting for the Xbox version of
Fortnite's huge.
Yeah, and it's just gathered pace more and more.
Yeah, it's not getting smaller, it's getting bigger.
Yeah, what is it, 40 odd million now players or something like that? And it's that's not going away anytime soon. Nor should it, but
no.
Another game that isn't going away, Nice. Age of Empires Definitive Edition is another one I've been playing.
This is the one that everyone got all excited about.
Yeah, but it's a weird one because it's not. I mean, I've never played Age of Empires before. It's
what?
Jesus. It's not because I don't like it or anything like that. It's just it's not.
I can't remember ever playing it either. I might have.
Chris, do you want to chime in there and say that so I can go higher with a what?
I've never played it.
What?
Oh, nice.
I think I might have played a PC version, one of them somewhere. I think maybe did they release one a while ago? No, I'm going high. Did they release one a while ago? Sort of that was something to do with games for Windows, or
they did. I think it was Age of Empires 3.
I might have played that. I probably reviewed it, and I don't even remember. I vaguely remember something Age of Empires-y.
Is it like a poor man's Civilization?
Hey.
No.
Oh, the fighting words are back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a similar kind of thing. I mean, well, if I remember right, I think Civ came first anyway. But that's neither here nor there. The whole idea is, you start in kind of Stone Age, and you're building your own little civilization. You're wanting to build a village, then it's up to like a city and stuff like that, and go through various ages. The more you play, so you can end up going through to like the Bronze and eventually the Iron Age. But this PC version is, the Definitive Edition it's weird because it's not. I mean, granted, I've not played it, but I remember watching quite a bit of someone else play the first one, and it's essentially the same game. It's just higher resolution.
Yep.
So it's like you can see more of the map at once and things like that.
Did the battles look amazing? I say the battles look great, are they? Go on, tell me.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing looks good. It's weird because the extra resolution it looks at least like they've done a little bit of work just to making the sprites look a little more detailed as well.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, in a roundabout way, it looks how you remember it looking, if that makes sense. Because usually you go back and you're like, no, this looks shit now.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of, this is how your brain would tell you the original looks. The only downside, I'm going to say, is the servers on the beta were shocking. I struggled so much to get games. The first game I did get, after about half an hour, it kicked me. It's
sounds like Friday the 13th.
I mean, the good thing is Age of Empires is I think the majority will play it for the single player, and then they'll go into the multiplayer side, and hopefully the multiplayer will be fixed by the time it comes out. But that's not far away. It's like the 20th of Feb, I think it's due, or something like that. So it's not far away, and yet this beta doesn't paint a very good picture in terms of the servers. But,
see, I wouldn't be too gone playing this kind of game online, because I just think you get your fucking ass handed to you. Like these games are different beasts online, but in terms of like a solid single player, I had an amazing experience with Age of Empires 2 back in the day.
Yeah,
actually the first Age of Empires was my first ever PC game, and then I remember getting 2, and I got 2 then on the PS2. And it came out for
it came out on PS.
So yeah, it came out for console. And if I'm right, I think Konami were part of the second one for the console. But either way, it worked amazing on console. And ever since I bought my Switch, I've been just like waiting for Age of Empires to come on.
It would be perfect on Switch.
It would be absolutely perfect. And like, there was a period of like of my life where I got really into these kind of games. Like, I don't talk about it much, but I was really into like Command and Conquer and stuff, and Commandos and all these kind of ones. But Age of Empires, man, it's so satisfying and rewarding, and like even the kind of history lessons they give you are really cool. I hope this does well, but I think maybe it's literally just for Age of Empires fans. I don't know if people have much patience to go into a game like this anymore. Maybe I'm completely wrong in saying that, but
I just wonder where this game fits in an industry now where like every week there are 3 to 5 games that that grab your attention. I wonder outside of the hardcore, I love Age of Empires, I can't wait to play it again fans, this fits. Or does it? And does that matter? I don't know.
It's an odd one because it's like, I think people are expecting it for the Xbox. Because
is it play every? It is Xbox game. It's coming to Xbox, is it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I can't find anything.
Because in the code they sent us for this, it was like download it on your PC, blah 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 blah. There was no mention of and you'll have it on both. Whereas normally Microsoft are explicit about sort of saying and you can play it on whichever system, or sometimes the PC version isn't ready before release, blah blah blah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I think that's where that kind of the message has got a little bit lost with the Play Anywhere, because it's like essentially it sounded like every first party release was going to be on both.
It's both,
And yet they don't seem to have mentioned an Xbox version of this, and people are just expecting it. And it's like, if it does come to Xbox, I think it might do alright.
I mean, you can play with a mouse and keyboard on Xbox, so I suppose...
But I don't think Halo Wars 2 did that well.
I wouldn't have thought so.
And strategy games tend not to do that well on console these days. It's more
did they
just
ever?
The action. I mean, they kind of went through a period, I think it was like, I want to say PS2.
The only good one I remember is Civilization Revolution on 360, which was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I never played that one actually.
Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Oh God, where's Command and Conquer gone?
Like that's
nice.
Yeah, man.
Where's it gone? Good. That's where it's gone. No one remembers that. No Tim Curry. No one remembers that.
Oh man, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. I still remember playing the original on PS1.
Yeah,
it was because I didn't have a decent PC at that point, and that was just ridiculous. I mean, the cutscenes, the old FMV. Oh, it was hilarious. 'Cause it was so badly acted, but in the best way. Like the original Resident Evil, just ridiculous.
So I'm just seeing here now, and I think it is coming to Xbox. Definitely PC, but I'm sure it's coming to Xbox because it's on the Xbox.com website. And it's actually only going to be like £15.
Yeah,
right?
I think I'm guessing it's because it is essentially just they've upped the resolution and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good price.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that just briefly going back, Shadow of the Colossus is like, what, 25-30 quid? I think that's a good price for that, because it's...
Yeah, I was impressed by that price.
Although they've done a lot more work with it, it's still a remake kind of thing, and they've not gone the Last of Us remastered route.
Well, apparently, I haven't put this in news, but someone has revealed that it's actually running on the game's original code somehow, or something like that. And I don't understand how that's possible, but I guess you could take the original code and just layer better textures over. I don't know, but that's Shadow of the Colossus. I don't know. Yeah.
I've also been playing My Time at Portia.
Right, which is a game I've heard of several times, but don't know what it is.
It's kind of a 3D Stardew Valley.
Oh.
That kind of idea.
I'm interested.
It's not... I don't know, it's not got the same... I'm trying to think of the word.
Quality?
It's not quite... Well, that's one of them, yeah.
Oh, okay, I was just being a bastard, but...
No, it's good. It's a very good game. There's a lot of interesting concepts in there. It looks very nice. I mean, it's got that kind of a little bit like Breath of the Wild kind of not quite cel shaded look.
It looks very like that kind of it's on the Switch Zelda game as well. Zelda style.
Portal Knights?
No, it starts with I think. Oh fuck, move on. It'll come to me down a while.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good game, but it's very...
No.
Sorry, Gary.
No, it's okay. It's a little overcomplicated.
Okay.
Because, to build things, you have to... Like, for example, like one of the first things you build is like a little furnace. And you've got to gather the certain material, a bit of stone, that kind of thing. But then to build, say, like a little sawmill, you've then got to go off, find some, I think it was copper. Then you've got to use another machine to then make copper plates, which are essentially like you can use to make the saw. And when you actually put it together, you have like a little station, like assembly station, and you have to physically put the parts on in there, yourself. And it's a bit too long-winded. You're playing for hours, and you just like, I just want to do this. And another problem it has is it's almost got that free-to-play kind of thing where when you want to make something. Like you're making, like copper bars, something like that. You have to wait so many in-game hours for it to finish. And you kind of like, sometimes you're just like, I've got nothing else on at the minute. So I'm like, should I just go to bed?
Make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can just go to bed in the game and you'll wake up the next day and it'll all be done. But it's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit unnecessary. Like a certain amount of time, yeah, but when it's a lot of in-game hours,
Jesus,
it can get a bit tedious. But it's still fun though. It's I'm kind of sounding like it's not a good game, but I think it'll appeal to a very certain type of player.
Right.
I mean, I do think a lot of like the Stardew players would probably enjoy it, even like Minecraft players and stuff like that. They'd probably enjoy it, but it's just...
I know the game Adam's thinking of now, and I can't think of the bloody name either. It came to PS4 as well.
Yeah, it's like a kid with a sword.
Yeah.
7 Seas or something.
Oh, the one that was basically like a Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different game.
Who's that fucker?
I can't remember what it's called.
What's his name?
I know at least what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's going to drive me
I'm thinking of a game
bananas.
Chronicles of something.
No, this is called like something.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Don't you cut me off. I'm trying to think.
Sorry, let's all just pause for a minute and let Adam...
Not my joke.
I'll cut that bit, make you look like a right bastard. I'll try and find a moment where you said, no, I'm deadly serious somewhere in another podcast. You must have said it.
Going from that kind of relaxing game, it's going straight into like a real Twitch shooter, Battalion 1944.
Okay.
Which is a Square Enix collective.
Oh, they've been doing good work.
Game. Yeah. And it's billed as like a proper old school shooter, like the old Medal of Honors, the original Call of Duty, that kind of thing. And it plays like them.
Okay.
And it's very much like, it's like Counter-Strike as well. That's so fast paced.
That's good if you want that kind of thing.
Yeah. I would say it's a great game.
Eric, please. That's twice. The two people have said that, and it's tradition. And I'm disappointed because you said it earlier, and I nearly added it. And then Gareth said it, and there's just no way. That's just dangling it in front of me. I can't. Sorry again. Please carry on.
No. It's like, it's fun. It's very fast paced. If you're into that kind of game, you'll love it. It is in early access, so it's got some issues here. Like the balancing is all over the place.
Right. This is beta, is it?
It's essentially a full release, but it's early access, so they'll be adding bits and just tweaking it as they go along. But yeah, it looks good. It plays, it's very smooth. There's little bits of lag here and there, but you kind of always get that at the early stages of any like online shooter release, let alone a smaller early access one. But it's bloody hard though. I mean, I'm not good at these shooters anyway. But
you're past 30, so you can't be.
Well, yeah, true. But I'm getting like one shot left, right, and centre. I mean, it's got that whole thing where people love to jump and shoot. The old Halo thing. And I mean, I was playing it before. I was in it's like a barn, and I was kind of wandering through. Some dude just jumped across the exit, one shot, carried on, and I'm just like, I didn't even fucking know there was anyone around me. And it's just like, fuck you, but but it's It is good though. I did get some kills, so I'm not completely inept, but yeah, it's very much one for the Counter-Strike, Call of Duty crowd, which I'm not.
Okay.
I'm too old for that now. By law, I think.
Yeah, I think they did pass.
Or at least the law of nature, anyway.
That's right.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. But yeah, just be aware that you'll get killed a lot.
Okay, but it is age rated. You do have to be under 30 to be able to enjoy it.
That's about it.
Okay.
For me.
Well, we've left Chris and Adam. Chris? I'll call you Chris now. We've called Chris
Yeah,
and
that's
Adam
my
to
name.
last together because they've kind of both been playing the same games. And I did feel like last week we literally talked about Monster Hunter for 40 minutes, so I feel like we should probably leave the 40 minutes.
Talk about it for another 40 hours.
But for the second half of the podcast. So, Chris, Adam,
Yes.
where do you want to start?
Oh,
Apparently, you're going to finish.
Oh man, I'm obsessed. I'm like review games, as we all know. We sometimes play them and then we don't play them for forever, and we miss out on them.
Yep.
I am constantly thinking about this every day. I've played it every day since review, whether that be for half an hour or for a couple of hours, and I just love it. I absolutely adore the storyline and the quests. I love playing with friends, like the whole Diablos fight that we had the other night with Ace, a little fucker.
Well, I mean, was it Ace? It was enjoyable, but
No,
it was failure.
The band,
all right,
the
you
bants,
party pooper.
the bants. It was all about the bants. But no,
bants,
I
yeah,
just,
true.
I just think it's a great game, Eric. I really just adore it. I'm constantly thinking about what my palico is going to wear next. I'm settled with the
First world
the
problems.
furry hood.
Oh, absolutely.
But I went.
What the fuck do I put in my cat?
Yeah. Yep.
I went and finished that Watcher, the Horizon quest. I went back and did that so I could get some.
Oh, yeah.
Get the other lens, and then I went off to the Coral Highlands to get some Dragonite ore. But I just really like the ethos behind it, and obviously I'm not going to dabble in the story because I don't want it to ruin it for anyone. But there's parts where it humanises the monsters, and even the main Elder Dragon, which I just think is excellent. And I like how the progression you each monster you fight through the story, it does become more challenging. Some are more challenging than others because of their movement, and they are quite unpredictable, where some are a lot slower, and the ones that fly are particularly difficult when you are choosing a weapon that you can only really use on the ground, like the one that me and Adam use it, I think, as like a main is the switch axe, which switches between the axe and the sword. So I tend to use that for everything, and because my bow or my bowguns aren't very leveled, I don't tend to go for them because they'll do the least amount of damage. But the way they've progressed it, and the different kind of, it's not just go here, kill this monster, go back, go there, kill this monster. There's reasons and stories behind it, and then there's new levels, like in the way it tells a story and why you're then fighting these monsters, rather than just go and kill them because they're in the way. There's real depth to it. And even now where I am, there's kind of the interaction between. So when you start off, which is where you kind of fight the Jagras, and then maybe that Anjanath will come and intervene, and at that point you're like, oh my god, a fucking T-Rex is trying to attack me, and this big fat lizard. It's like quite a moment, but then
Its actual name is the Big Fat Lizard.
But then when you fight the Anjanath, it's like, oh well, that was all right. That wasn't as scary as I thought. Then you get further on, and like these big monsters are attacking you. I'm at a point now where these big monsters are then helping me in these fights later on, and it just keeps growing and growing. And it's just the kind of the difficulty is kind of spot on once you get to a point where you're killing monsters and you're going into like the side bits, the investigation stuff, where you're going to go and you've got to kill 2 Anjanaths to get like a level, an armor sphere or something. It kind of, you are getting better equipment, so it doesn't feel as difficult as it did when I first started playing it. And I just think it's a fantastic game, so well designed, what flows really well, whether you're kind of on your own or with friends. And like the other night, I fired a flare, and it's the first time it worked for me. And it brought 3 people into the game for me, and it brought someone from Japan, someone from Germany, and an American guy. And like we weren't chatting, but their names pop up, and like when like if I die, it'll say like my name, then it'll say sorry, or it was all in German for the German guy, it was all in Japanese for the Japanese guy, and the American guy I knew because his tag was that. But anyway, it's just the fact that it's brought 4 different kind of countries together in this one battle, and obviously they join my game, so they're in it for the Legioner, that bird, that they're in it for his like materials, where I'm in it to progress the story. And it's like that's a great way to get people to join your game and help you out. Like that by killing that, they've got loads more materials to build that armor set, whereas I'm doing it to kind of progress the story. And I just think it's very smart, and it's kind of, the more I've played online, the more I get it, and the more I understand how both work together. And it's one of those few games where they've kind of got a great balance for the single player stuff you do on your own, and then the multiplayer and the different kind of varieties you've got for the multiplayer. There's so many different aspects. You can go into people's quests, they can come to yours. You can team up and do like one of the Watcher thing, or where you can go into the arena and just fight like a monster for its kind of parts. It's just I'm a bit in love with it.
I think they've actually improved on the flare situation, because it's working all the time now for me. Like when I use it, it's very quick that somebody is in my game. I think the element of when you invite someone into your quest or whatever, and you have that 3 life mechanic thing, it's kind of like, because I was doing it and then 2 lads died in my party, and I was like, lads, get it together.
Why did you join me if you were going to be shit?
Well, it's like you can't help it, obviously. Like, when
you can get good, as they say on the internet. I feel a bit dirty. I feel dirty. Sorry, I'm sorry. I've never said that out loud.
The game itself, though, is so good. Like I really now understand the whole thing. Even like I've put about 40 hours in now, and I'm Hunter rank 10, and I fought, after we fought at Diablos, I actually fought one on my own.
Yep.
Because you kind of have to.
Yeah, I figured. I'd said to you at the time, this is going to be something you have to do again.
Yeah, and the thing was, when it came to the story and I was like, oh, hunt for this, I was like, I don't want to hunt for that. He's the worst. And
he is a bastard. That's not...
Oh, he is a pain. But anyway, I was there, and I knew what I was in for, so I really kind of like went off, and it kind of, I used the books, and I like saw his weaknesses or whatever, and I went back and made sure I got the right gear for it, and I went in and I absolutely bossed it. Like, and it was so satisfying, and it was a different level of satisfying. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you get through a tough battle, you're like, whoa, that was amazing. But when you actually prepare for it and go in and you conquer it, it is some feeling.
Yeah.
But I think the online aspect of it, like when we jumped on, for me, I have never had this much fun in an online game, because I think not all of us here are massively into online gaming. I definitely am not into like I play Battlefield and stuff, and it's so good, but I'm just so shit. I'm so shit at it that I'm just like, I won't bother going further with it. But there's something about Monster Hunter that, if you understand the general situation of the game, like, it's always good for it's a game for everyone, I think. Because like, you have to learn a lot of it, obviously, but it's very welcoming. Like, when we head off and we go into the like a certain map and we're just chatting shit, like, you don't really do that in games that much anymore. Like, maybe you do, but I definitely haven't. I think the last game I ever did that with was World of Warcraft. Do you know? And it kind of has that similar thing of, you strike out and you talk about the gear, you talk about, like Adam, many times you're like, there's something over here to mine, and I'm like, banging. We go over and we all start doing it together, do you know? And these small little things, and you're like, this is so much fun. And I don't know, it's just the perfect game to start off the year. Like it's an immediately a great feeling. It's very positive, and you have a lot of fun, and there's a lot, like, we have the group chat stuff, and we chat about it and everything, and like that's kind of what games are all about. And I think Monster Hunter is just, I'm super excited because it's a whole new series now for me.
Yep.
And I've never dived in. I think for a lot of people it is that, and it's just great to know that this exists now, and I'm like, can I have it on the Switch?
No.
Like, would you once again stop? No, but seriously, like, if this game ever does get considered, and I'm sorry, but people are kind of saying, no, there's no way it can make it Switch. I genuinely think it can, because I know, well, like, I know, Adam, you're playing on the Pro. Are you playing on the Pro, Chris?
No, just standard.
Okay, standard, right? Is it like, it's rough enough on standard?
Yeah.
Okay, like in a distance, do you see the frame rate with the monsters at times?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, wowzaroonies. Like, that is poor enough, like, you know. But that doesn't take away from the game at all. But that doesn't mean it can't make it to Switch, because if we're getting things like Doom and Wolfenstein that's coming out, you know, like, they're really polished looking games. Yeah, they're not as powerful as they are on the console, but the Monster Hunter World is ideal for the Switch, for taking it on the go. Like, I don't know, is it just me that thinks that?
Would it be perfect for Switch? I mean, it would be a great game on Switch.
Well,
I just don't think that, given how it runs. Like, I was playing Super Mario Odyssey today, actually, and I was just like, my son's now farther than I am. Like, he's done like that super, I think I said before, the super hard level, whereas I never did that. I just finished it, collected about another 100 moons, and then kind of like drifted away a bit. So I thought, I've got 20 minutes because I was in New York City, and he showed me something, and I'm curious as to whether he was trying to wind me up or this is a Switch performance issue. But you know, when you start New York City, you jump on the electric thing and you fizz down to the main area of New York City, and there's that little parky bit where one of the moons is that you have to rearrange the letters into the Mario. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're all with me? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If you're facing where it says Mario and you turn around, right in the corner, there's a lamppost, okay? Now, if you go far enough away from it, a man appears, and he's kind of like gesticulating at the air, like he's right in the corner, sort of like going like that, you know, with his arms flailing towards the sky.
Is he pissed, is he?
I don't know, but then as you move towards him, it's like a texture loading in and out. And if you go, you know, in that same area, there's like, you know, I forget what they're called, the green things you can throw your hat on, the binoculars, you go up and you can look around. If you go there and look in that corner, he's there again. Because I thought, you know, there's moons that you can get from the binoculars that you look at something and it's usually a ship in the sky. I thought it was one of them. But as you go over to him, he just disappears. And I'm thinking, what is going on? So is that some secret weird thing that people are talking about and I've missed? Or is that the Switch not being able to render...
I think it's because I've had the same thing, like especially in that area.
But this is specific. He's there every time you go a distance away. If you can, in fact, if you go to that corner and run away, but turn the camera so you're running into the camera, you can see him fade in.
Weird.
And it's like if it struggles with that, I just don't think it. Look, it runs fine, but I'm on a Pro. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I have to almost stop if I'm when I was reviewing Shadow. I had to stop and go, hang on a minute. Just remember, this is an exclusive Sony game. It's obviously optimized for the Pro and the normal. Just bear that in mind. With this, I'm playing it and I'm thinking, oh, it looks smooth. And then when you told me about like the monsters at like 4 frames a second in the distance in the sky flapping, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that. And
yeah, and it's not pleasant.
No, and it's an odd-looking game as well. Like it's got moments that are really genuinely nice, but then it's got moments where you're like, God, bloody hell, what scale? What this texture looks like ass, you know.
I actually think sometimes when you're in the what's the hub world place called again?
I've completely forgotten. Begins with A, doesn't it?
Look, you know what
Astera,
yeah. That place is like at times way too bright.
Okay.
It's odd for me. It's just like, and it's not my TV in case anyone says it, but like, it's just, I find it very like, I can't really make out the NPCs and stuff. I'm like, Jesus, the sun is baiting on your face, boy. But like it's only small things like that, you know. But the game doesn't suffer. It doesn't go down for me because of it, because the game is so good. You know what I mean? Like I can safely say it's the first game I've played on the PS4 where I ended up saving the footage and editing just the last clip to put online and stuff. I never do it. I never ever do it. But I was so happy about beating this enemy because I went on for like 45 minutes.
I thought was this
like,
Arathian?
Yeah,
I saw that clip.
Like it was,
because I thought it was a Diablos at first, and I was about to text you and say, "You Judas bastard, we were doing this together."
I know. It was Arathian, but it was like a serious fight. It was just he nearly got me and stuff. So the build-up was like unreal. So when I actually finished it in the end, I just thought the whole last minute for me was just unreal. I was so excited about the game that evening I went to a friend's house for drinks, and I think at like 2 a.m. I was still watching it on my phone. I was like, this game is the fucking business. I was like, it's just such a great feeling all the time.
Fair enough.
For me, I think everything I'm doing in it is just really satisfying. It's really comforting, and I kind of just want everyone I know to play it, and then we can all.
I still think it's got problems, mate. Like that night we fought the Diablos, like. It was amazing because we weren't hunting it, and I just said to you, "Oh, there's usually a big monster down here." I was showing you, I think I was showing you a camp to unlock, and then I was like, "There's a massive monster I've never fought. I think it's called Diablos," and we found it. And we're like, "Shall we?" And we all just went, "Yeah!" And then it. I think what happened that time. I think we just beat us. We just couldn't get it down. Then the second time we came back with that camp unlocked and had another go, and I think the third time we had it down, it was asleep, and we were going to trap it, and I threw my trap down. You guys woke it up and were kiting it towards me so I could trap it, and it ran the opposite way, and it ran out of the area, and that felt so cheap to me that it's like I get it. That enemy has to cycle out, so perhaps 2 different ones can come in and you can hunt them. They're on I get it, but at the same time, I feel like there should be some part of the code that says, no, look, if you've actively engaged with this for 25 minutes and you've now got it to the point where it's sleeping, it shouldn't just fuck off in the middle of a fight. That would feel cheap.
Look, definitely, like this game, like I'm making it as if it's like a 10 out of 10 game.
No,
it's a 10 out of 10 game to how it makes me feel.
Okay,
but like. Technically, it has its problems in that way. But I do have faith in it improving those problems. I know we're saying about the Diablos and stuff, right? I totally understand. Like I fought that guy, including all runs, I think 8 times. Yeah. Okay, until I actually beat him. But when I did, I was after understanding how he moved. His weak points.
But that's the thing. I felt like if we'd got a 4th time that night, we'd have done him. But it was stupidly, it was early. It wasn't even late anymore. It was early the next bloody day. And it was...
Yeah.
But I genuinely felt by the time we'd got him to sleep, it was like, I felt that moment, we've got him. We've got him now. And I felt if we'd had the time for a 4th attempt, it still would have taken time because you have to damage him. But it was like, right, I finally understand... My role here as a gunsmith is to, yes, I damage him, but I have to hit his weak points or I'm wasting ammo. So when I can't hit his weak points, when he's going mad, I buff you, I support you guys. I use my slingshot to perhaps stun him. And you guys were having similar revelations. So I really felt like we had him. So that's why it just I haven't actually played it since then. It really killed me. I don't want to play this until I'm ready for him again. I feel like I have to beat him. Like to carry on, I have to beat that fucker.
But that's the thing, you see, that was soul destroying. Like I went to bed after that session and I was like, I'm actually kind of raging. I nearly would just go back and try it myself.
Yep.
And when I did beat it, I was just like, oh my God, what a feeling.
Yeah.
But there were small things like, I always kind of forget to use the environment in the game.
Yes.
Like when you're fighting him, right, I realised that in that sand pit area, in that initial place, there's like pillars. If you get him to run into the pillar, he'll stick his horns into the pillar and get stuck.
Oh,
right.
And then you can run in and just fucking go to town on him. And it's kind of hilarious when you're doing it with like 3 other people and the 4 of you see it get stuck and you all just bomb in together like go. I don't know. Like I totally understand it, but look, it's a video game. We learned as a challenge, and when we overcome the challenge,
I feel like it's an 8 out of 10, but it's a 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Like it's the best 8 out of 10 you'll play this year.
100%. And like as going back to what we were saying the last time on I think we were discussing how long will we be talking this way about the game in like 8 months. I kind of think we will be.
Right.
I do have faith in this game. Look, every time we've ever jumped on it, we've had the best time. And as I said, I haven't had a feeling like that.
I kind of want to jump on it now. Game. Like just talking about it.
But yeah, Monster Hunter is great.
Cool. Yeah, no, it is. And I think we're going to be talking about it for a few weeks yet, I think, still. So, have either of you played anything aside Monster Hunter World?
Very quickly, I will just jump in and say that I did finish Celeste this week, and I stand by my words. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Finish.
No, well, I finished the story. Like, come on.
You know, I've seen people that have done it now. They've done well. I don't want to spoil, but there's more to it than the B-sides. There's more after the B-sides.
I've seen a speedrunner do it in 40 minutes or something.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah,
everything.
Like, well, not I don't think everything, but just the game.
That's still pretty impressive.
That's still amazing. But it's still an incredible game. I do have one tiny gripe though, and that is only to do with, this is not spoiling really at all, but the elements that you get given to you throughout the levels. I think when wind comes into place,
right,
it's very random. I think it just kind of, because if you think about it, every other kind of element of that kind of nature, it has its moment and then it's kind of gone.
Right, whereas I suppose wind, if it's going to be present, it should be present the whole game because you're climbing a mountain. Yeah,
and it kind of comes and goes when it wants, and it's not a gripe, and it's a lot of fun actually. When the wind is pushing you, it's really fun. But that game is incredible, like incredible. And I've also dabbled in UFC 3. Now Chris has said loads about it. He also has his review up on the site. You're dead right, Chris. I do think that like this is the best UFC game, hands down. I think it's like the most accessible, and it's easier to understand, and I think the fights itself are actually quite challenging, but also there's a good balance of it's your fault if you're losing, like big time. Do you know what I mean? Like controlling your stamina and stuff is like super important, as it was in all of them, but like it's really important in this, because when I was playing it, like, because you start off obviously as McGregor and all that jazz, instantly the opponent is just coming for you. Like, you're just like, what the fuck? It's like, go away. Like, you're trying to find your ground with it. But really, really good. I still think it has its problems, obviously. Especially, now, I'm hoping there'll be a patch, because I think it's out this week, I'm sure.
It is, yeah. February the 5th, 4th, 6th? Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday. The frame rate is a bit dodgy at times.
Is it?
Especially, for me, in the cutscenes, I found it was a bit ropey. But I think that's just like a patch situation, do you know? I don't know if I remembered in UFC 1 and 2 it being a lot smoother, but do you know, I didn't play those games to date at all. But this is definitely good. It's probably the best MMA game. Like, there's not many, but like,
well, there's 5, because there were 2 THQ ones, if you remember correctly. Last gen.
True.
They were quite good, if I remember correctly. THQ, THQ. But really good. I'm actually looking forward to playing more. It seems I'm looking forward to going to the career and stuff. That seems really interesting.
The career's amazing. Like I've been like between that Monster Hunter, it's been that and UFC for me as well this week. And I've gone through like another career with a new created character, and I'm reaching the end of it now. And like it's weird how it makes it feel like a Rocky film where there's not actually any kind of real kind of cutscenes or story to it. Like, in the sense that you work hard to get a title shot, and then you get that title shot, and like I won it, and then within 3 fights I lost it again to a guy who is just a like submission king. So I can't get out of it. Like, I couldn't get out of his submission because he was so good. And then a few fights later, I got my rank back up to like 2nd, and then I got another shot at the title, and I lost. I got knocked out, and it was the first time I got properly knocked out, like spark out, like he hit me and I just fell, and that was it. So I felt really kind of deflated. And then the next few fights were against like not that, you know, they're not very high up in the rankings. And on the second of those fights, I lost again to this guy who's like 15th. and I can slowly feel my career dying, and it's really weird. Like, obviously you've got that bar where you start off at 100%, where I mentioned on the last pod, and the more damage you take in a fight, it decreases more. So if you get battered in 5 rounds and it goes to decision, you might take off 5% of that. If you get a knockout in the first round, it'll take down like 0.5%. And I'm at a point now where I'm on about 30%. I feel like I've had another title shot since then and lost that. So it feels like, are they going to offer me another one? Is it going to be like within 10% of my career left to finally fight back to get that title shot? And like do a Rocky moment where I come back and take the title and retire. And it's like, it's insane how it makes you feel. And like, when I go back on now, I don't feel as confident as I did when I started playing it, because it took a while for me to lose my first fight. And now I've lost like 3 in about 5 or 6 fights. And I don't want to keep losing, and I feel like my confidence has been knocked. I'm not really doing anything differently. I don't think the game's getting harder. I just don't think I'm being... Because like you were saying about your stamina bar, for instance, you get a good shot in and they stumble, you tend to go...
You panic and you go in and waste it all.
Yeah, you tend to go hell for leather, and they're going to capitalise on that by like getting you in the clinch and then taking you to the ground and wearing you out even further. And if you constantly use your leg kicks, like I use my right kick because I've got a few like special kind of moves, you're hitting them where's your legs out, so they didn't even need to touch you. If you keep using like a right kick, it'll make that flash, so that then they know, because they're smart, they'll go for that leg, and then they can they can literally knock you off your feet just by going for your legs. And like I just think it's a really it's the career mode is better the further I've gone. And there's no targets anymore. Like you fight, you sign a contract in the UFC, you've got 5 fights, and then you know who you're going to fight at the end of those 5 because they pop up at the start. Then the next one does the same. You get 5 fights. If you win 3 out of 5, you get to fight the 10 seed, then the 5th, and then finally the champ. But now there is none of that. There is no kind of end fighter you're going to fight. You just have to win to kind of get any chance of a title shot. And I think where I am now is the best it's been in like the career mode, and it's made me love it even more. And I'm still playing that even after I've kind of reviewed it, because it's just such a fun game to play. So yeah, I've played a lot more of that. But that is literally it between them two and Disney's Emoji Blitz on my phone, which I won't bore you with. But I'm still working hard on that. But yeah, no, it's just been really nice to focus on 2 great games and just have fun with them. So do it now before it picks up a bit. But loving Monster Hunter.
And we're only into the 2nd month of the year.
No, fuck.
Well, I mean, listen, you may not have played much, but there's plenty to talk about still. Not least late last week. When was it? Late last week, or was it early last week? I'm going to have a quick look. On February the 1st, so yeah, late last week, Rockstar Games announced the release date for Red Dead Redemption 2. It is October the 26th, which is the new date for the end of the year for games, I believe. No more games will come out after October 26th. That's that.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that? I'll read the statement very quickly. It's only short. Rockstar say, "We are excited to announce that Red Dead Redemption will be released on October 26th, 2018. I'm glad they clarified the year. We apologise to everyone disappointed by this delay. Didn't know it had a date to begin with, but whatever. While we had hoped to have the game out sooner." Was it?
No, I never knew. I never knew either.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was like spring.
Okay, well, that's not a date.
It wasn't an actual date. It was just a window.
I thought it was sooner.
We'll discuss that in a second. Continue.
We require a little extra time for polish. We sincerely thank you for your patience and hope that when you get to play the game, you will agree that the wait will have been worth it. In the meantime, please check out these screenshots from the game. We look forward to sharing a lot more information with you in the coming weeks. There you go.
Okay.
I'm happy.
So am I, but apparently everyone on the internet wasn't.
Because they're all impatient. Like
everyone was just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, got delayed." I was like, "What date did you have?" Because I didn't have any days.
I mean, there's plenty out this year. Just try and enjoy some of that, and the
fact some fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but the fact that it's delayed also helps me to deal with. You think when like a GTA game comes out, and even the first Red Dead, you're so excited to play it. And then you finally get to play it, and yes, it's great, but then it ends, and you're like, oh, when's the next one going to be? As long as it kind of delays that. I love hype when I'm really excited about something. I love it. I love any screenshot. It's like The Force Awakens. Like any little tidbit of information was like amazing. And then I finally watched it, and then I finished it, and I loved it, but I was so disappointed that it wasn't going to be, for a while, the next one. And that's exactly the same with Rockstar. I mean, there are other franchises that do that to me, but Rockstar really does it for me.
I wish they'd stop releasing these screenshots. That's the only thing I'd say. I'm fine. We've listened, this podcast for years now, we have said we're no problem with the delay. Actually, shit, I've said that, and there's more news about delays. So I'm gonna. No, we have no problem with delays if they're to make the game better, because that's ultimately what you want, the best possible game. This is just the screenshots. The screenshots hark back to kind of the days when online media wasn't really as big a thing, because you know. These screenshots don't tell you anything. People will write millions of articles about it, but they don't really tell us what the game looks like.
That's true.
I want to see this game running, Adam.
When it comes down to Rockstar, I've always found any sort of screenshot or something to look at their new game, it has just been like, whoa, look at the way that looks. Because I vividly remember the time GTA 4 was coming out. We saw kind of nothing of it. And then there was like leaked gameplay being put online. It was like, Jesus fucking Christ, we can actually see the game. Yeah. Like, what's happening? Yep. And there's something with it that, I don't know, Rockstar are just like, they're the ultimate hype train. And I am there first class. But I am in it.
We don't know anything about this game. Like we've all kind of assumed it's going to have an online, like GTA Online. They haven't mentioned it, have they? They haven't mentioned it at all.
It's as good as the first one. The first one's online was so good.
It was good, yeah, to be fair.
So much fun.
I think it's going to be 10 out of 10.
Do you know what? I will take that bet and say I agree. I'm not a betting man. I would safely put 10 English pounds that this will majority-wise get 10 out of 10s.
I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I think they're going to bring in the element that they have in GTA 5 with the switching of characters. Yeah. I think that's going to be in it, and I think the world is going to be massive.
Actually, but
what's that?
I hope they don't. I don't know that I want
that. I think they will. Judging by what we've seen so far, there seems to be a lot of characters in this.
Do you know what? I'm going to go one further, by the way, and I'm going to say I would actually take a bet that some site will give this an 11 out of 10.
Can we be the site?
No. I've considered that for some games in the past. But, go on, Chris. There's not much to say. It's just hype, isn't it? At the moment.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the switching character, I think it would definitely include that. Yeah. However, I think it will do it kind of to more of a vast scale than GTA 5 did, where you'll have one character who will be playing through their story, which won't really intertwine till the last few missions. I've just got a feeling that there's so much story to tell. I feel that there'll be three or four separate stories that take part all over the world of wherever it is, and they'll finally come together at the end. I'd be more than happy with that, because the time you spent playing as each character in GTA 5 was like, I think they were like 20, 30 hours each for me. So if they can do that again, I know it's a story to tell, but they're excellent storytellers, and I think that could be a possibility. And if they do that, then amazing, absolutely awesome.
I actually wonder, right? Do they have in mind to create a Red Dead Online?
I think so. I think 100%.
And is it going to be as successful? Like, are we going to be all over the West shooting?
Well, maybe not more, because just GTA is GTA, isn't it?
Yeah. GTA is always going to be there, but like, it just totally depends on how active the world is, because that's the one thing. Like, it's such a difference compared to especially GTA 5. The world of GTA 5 is insane.
To life.
Like, we're going to be out here in this open area, I think, and there's going to be a couple of like towns that you go into. But it's probably my most anticipated game of the year. I am so excited, to the point that it's one of those games that, when you're so excited and you actually get it and you kind of start shaking a small bit, you're kind of going, oh Jesus, oh no, it's here. Like, it's such I cannot wait to get this game.
I want like to be in a town and like us four are like at the bar or whatever, and then there's like some other group in another town who are like being dicks, and they're like, right, we'll challenge anyone to like a shoot down or a shootout. We respond to that, and then we all get on our horses, ride over to their town. They come out, and then it just kind of goes into like a just a free-for-all shootout in their town or whatever, and then you could possibly take it over. Or I just want like full-on Wild West shootouts where
Chris.
Well, that was what they did with the first one, wasn't it? You had the whole posses thing, and you'd just have rival posses. Just
but it wasn't quite that.
No, I actually preferred that to GTA Online. I've not been a big fan of the way that because it feels more like an MMO. It feels too grindy, and I hope that doesn't end up in Red Dead Online. I don't want that boring grind. I just want it to be like just the same fun, spontaneous thing that you get with the single player.
I would 100% bet that you will be able to. There will be a currency you can buy and grind in Red Dead Online.
I mean, I don't mind that as such, but I don't want it to affect the actual the mission structure and just the way you actually play the game.
I don't mind it if they give us some sort of Red Dwarf Gunmen of the Apocalypse style DLC. Then I'll be fine with it. Then.
I'd love that.
So before we move on, I just want to drop a little nugget of info about the Red Dead. Is that have you ever watched a film called Bone Tomahawk? With
nope.
Oh, it's great.
Right. So when I went to play LA Noire, and they weren't talking about the games because they're not allowed to, but they were just mentioning about like they're watching a lot of westerns and like Bone Tomahawk was one. So that makes me think it's going to be just savage. Like I'm looking forward to see what. Anyway, yeah. But
it's kind of interesting that you bring up Bone Tomahawk because if you think about it, Undead Nightmare is pretty much that.
Yeah.
So just in case you're wondering, lads, there's like zombies in this Western movie kind of thing.
Well, speaking of zombies, thank you, Adam. Far Cry 3.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Far Cry 3. Far Cry 5. Ubisoft have detailed the Far Cry 5 Season Pass, which includes for free Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, which is that Far Cry 3 on PS4 and Xbox One. This is, I think, a very interesting thing because Far Cry 3 is very clearly the best Far Cry so far.
Yep.
Giving that away free, all right, after the game comes out, is a bit of an odd one. The DLC, you're going to also get Hours of Darkness, which is, and I quote, players will travel back in time to Vietnam to battle against the Viet Cong soldiers. The dead living zombies, players will face hordes of zombies in multiple B-movie scenarios. And Lost on Mars, players will leave Earth behind to go toe to claws with Martian arachnids. So how do we feel about this?
I'm in. Oh, yeah. Blood Dragon was just ridiculously different to Far Cry 3, and that was ace. Like, it was just fun. Like, you've got the main game, you've played through that. Do I want to see more like DLC set in that world where you do another mission? Them kind of games that I never kind of really appreciate. Like, I've played the full game. I'm not really bothered about doing another mission in that world. I think Ubisoft do it really well, and they did with Blood Dragon, and I'm really excited to it's gonna be batshit crazy, and it's completely different to Far Cry 5, but it's just something completely different, but using the same kind of ideas and stuff. I'm all in. I think it's a great idea.
It kind of reminds me of was it the Saints Row 4? The DLC for that was like all random stuff like that.
Well, they did Get Out of Hell, which was separate, standalone, wasn't it?
Maybe it was Saints Row 3. One of them, it was like the season pass. All the content was like, I think one of them was in space or something like that, and it kind of sounds like a similar thing where it's like you're still playing the same game, but you're not at the same time.
It also kind of addresses one of the problems I had with the game. I was saying I was worried about how they channel this kind of serious narrative and the batshit gameplay. Well, they've kind of got these 3 DLCs where one's Viet Cong soldiers, one's zombies, and one's Martians. And they've kind of got these 3 DLCs that are separate from the main game that allow them to maybe perhaps deliver a more focused story without needing to go batshit stuff because they've got that stuff in the season pass. Maybe. I don't know. I'm quite excited to play Far Cry 3 again in a way, actually.
Yeah.
Is this there's nothing going to be done to it, is there?
Well, it's graphics, I suppose, upgraded. I would imagine it will run a bit smoother, perhaps on the Pro again or Xbox One X. But it just seems odd to release your best game as a freebie, which people will be able to buy it, by the way, if they don't buy Far Cry 5. But it'd just be later. You get it, I think, a month early if you play the season pass. That's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Well, moving on to things that aren't cool. Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, has been delayed to April 17th. There's going to be a demo on February the 27th, and that your save progress in that demo will carry over to the final game if you want to buy it. Oh. This is strange, because that's not a big enough delay that the game is not finished. Like, that game is finished. You know, if it were pushed 6 to 8 months, you would think, okay, something's not right. They've not finished it, but this game is finished. They've not delayed it.
When was the original date?
It was March, wasn't it? Or was it February?
No, it's
Chris?
Feb, yeah.
It was February. So, like,
what? Oh, wow.
So they pushed it 2 months.
Saying that, Far Cry had a similar delay, didn't it? Because Far Cry was basically delayed by a month.
So
it's not a big. I suppose it's just like little polishing things.
I would say that either someone has found something that should not be in the game, and they've gone, well, we can patch this, but we cannot have this game going out before we've patched it, and that. If it's significant,
like the faff.
Well, I mean, no, I'm thinking more like there is a game-breaking bug they need to fix, and that's again, it would have to be related to somehow the translation, because like the game is out in Japan, has been out, so the code wouldn't have changed as much. It's a translation, isn't it? Or for some fucking insane reason, they think they've got a better chance if they push it to right next to God of War. Which is because I wonder if people, you guys even, if people are forgetting, Yakuza 6 is a PS4 exclusive, and God of War is out very soon in April as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
or is it
20th?
So this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, I never even thought of that.
This is the 20th of April. So they're releasing Yakuza 6, a game that has, being completely honest, never sold particularly incredibly, and is a PS4 exclusive, and they're releasing it 3 days before one of the most popular PS4 exclusives in modern times. And that
I don't think it'll totally bother them, because I think the people that buy the Yakuza games tend to be the same people. I mean, it's going to affect its wider appeal, obviously.
I'm glad you're saying this, because I am playing devil's advocate. I don't necessarily. I agree with you. Like, I think the people who buy Yakuza might not be the same people as God of War. However, I do think it's important that the PS4 is so huge, and we'll get to that. We've got a story on that. That there is an audience that buys every PS4 exclusive. They're not going to buy 2 in a week.
True.
You know, the game playing public can't afford £100 on games in a week. Most people can't.
I can. I'm loaded.
Okay, well, fair enough. You can. But you know what I mean. Like, I just I
think it's one of those that, like, the Yakuza fans will prioritise Yakuza over God of War, but I think it's going to be it's going to be one of those ones where it's going to have to kind of take the punch.
I just wonder if they found something that, like, in perhaps a translation that's been literally translated from Japanese to English, that perhaps in Japanese culture people have got no problem with, but perhaps in Western culture people have gone, you can't say that. Do you know?
Like,
do you know what? You know what I'm getting at here? Like, I'm not going to give a specific example because I don't have one, but I just find I don't think they could have delayed it for financial reasons. Unless, saying that does push it into financial year next year. So so maybe they've had a really good year, Sega. I think Sonic's done well, and they just pushed it out. But then I don't know that, because this was announced in a really weird way. Did you guys actually see how this was announced?
No.
So someone typed out like not a press release, but like that basically what I've just said. We're really sorry, blah blah blah, delay, blah blah blah, and they just wrote it in their iOS Notes app and took a screenshot of their phone and put it on the Yakuza the game, and then people were replying like, "Are you fucking serious? This is the way you're announcing this?" So then what they did is they then took that text, put it into a Word doc, cropped it so it was just white space, and then they put it out again like that. And I don't know what it just at first I was like, Is this real? And it is real. Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah. Sad.
Okay. Well, moving on, as much success as Monster Hunter's had, we talked about the sales last week. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, another Capcom game, isn't doing as well. That game had projected sales of 2 million. It has sold 1 million, so it has underperformed by half.
I'm not entirely surprised.
No one's talking about it.
No. Well, I think it had two big problems. One was everyone hated the faces, And obviously there was a lot around that pre-release. Its second problem was Injustice 2.
Yep.
And Injustice 2 is the best fighter last year.
Yep.
I would personally argue it's the best fighter this generation.
Right.
I know you'd probably argue for Street Fighter. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those, I think I gave it an 8.
Yeah, I think you did.
And honestly, thinking back, now I'd probably give it less. It's one of the, it's one of those ones where you look back and go, I don't think I gave that the right score. I think everyone does that.
It happens.
But I mean, I did enjoy it. It's not a bad game or anything like that. It just, I don't know. It just the other Marvelous Capcom games were much better. Especially the third one. The third one was very good. And this just, I don't know. It just didn't have that Marvel sheen. Well, I'm reading this kind of expect.
I'm reading this story from Eurogamer, and they say something I think which really well sums it up, is that the whole game just felt low budget. And I think that's kind of spot on. They go on to say that it's actually a positive picture for Capcom generally, because Resi 7 has sold 4.8 million units, and they say, for context, the best-selling Resident Evil game is 5, which is 7.3 million, so it's not far off. Capcom described that as strong. Monster Hunter Double Cross on Switch sold well. The Awful, they say, it's not awful, but Ultra Street Fighter 2 was a smash hit, apparently, and Monster Hunter World is not in their financial report, obviously, because it's just come out, but we know that's done well. So Capcom, interesting, like no one would have really predicted, I don't think, that their best-selling game of recent times would be the one that normally no one in the West pays attention to. So, But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom. Flop, basically. Nintendo time. Mario Kart Tour. Does that mean anything to anyone?
Well, first off, when it was announced, I thought it was an actual tour.
So did I.
And I was like, banging!
The thing is that they did that before. I've got a T-shirt they sent. It's one of my reasons for going on a diet. I want to get it. I want to get into it because it's got Yoshi on it, and it's got tour dates on the back. It's like a band's tour T-shirt.
Yeah, like I'm not, I'm not going to lie. I genuinely thought I was going to click on this, see dates for arenas, go there, get in the cart, and get given items.
Oh God.
Yep.
Like,
oh man.
Do you know what I mean? And then I got greeted with a mobile game,
which is cool.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's look,
their mobile outings haven't been terrific, have they?
Nah.
But they haven't been bad either. No. They haven't been like the worst thing ever.
There does seem to be this narrative that what was the Mario game called?
Mario Run.
Yeah,
Super Mario Run.
I quite liked that.
Yeah, it was good fun.
But the narrative seems to be that it's dog shit. I quite liked it. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I quite enjoyed it. I went through it, and that was me done. It's fine.
I think it was just weird to have Mario constantly running on you, and you were like, "Stop it!"
Yeah.
Do you know, like Mario Kart Run, or Mario Kart Tour, even. We haven't seen gameplay. We don't know what it's going to look like.
Fiscal year ending March 2019, so it's a way off.
Yeah, like I really do hope it isn't as simple as like just use your thumb and slide left and right. Do you know? But then again, is it going to be also? I don't really want it having to turn the phone on its side and have those like
will be that
buttons that I touch. Like it probably will be.
Might have a tilt.
Could be tilt. See, it could be tilt because they don't half push the motion controls with Mario Kart.
And I think most of the racing games on mobile tend to use those, or at least offer them.
I mean, when I reviewed Mario Kart 8 for Switch, they also sent the little two little wheels. That you put the And as the package arrived, now I was like, "Well, this is Mario Kart. I know it's Mario Kart." And I'm opening it, thinking, "Why is it such a big parcel? Like, have they sent some sort of Mario Kart goodies?" Thinking, "Oh, I'll give them to the kids." Open it up, and there's these two boxes, and I was just looking like, "Why have you sent these? I'm not using these. I don't want to use these." Do you know what I mean? Like, I know it does actually play well motion control. It does.
I love the way there you cover yourself as being an adult when you say, Mario Kart goodies, I'll give them to the kids. Yeah, right.
Mate, listen, I am literally sat in an office where I can see nothing but Amiibo in front of me with 2 more in the post. So there's no pretense here.
There you go.
But let's stick with Nintendo then, because there's quite a bit actually this week on. It's weird. As a brief aside, I will mention that my boys are 2 different ages, and My eldest is at the point where there comes a point where you sort of move away from Nintendo a bit, or you don't. And he's now into FIFA football. Girls are coming. Do you know what I mean? That sounds wrong. Fuck. Jesus, what Christ. But he's into. He's becoming a teenager, right? But all of a sudden, all his mates for Christmas got Switches, and now the others that didn't are getting them for their birthdays. And just today he goes, "Dad, can I play on the Switch?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Yeah, I was just going to see if kid's name I won't mention wants to play some Mario Kart. Oh, okay, that's cool. Oh, he's not online. Oh, I'll just play some Zelda. Just work away, son. That's cool. And all of a sudden, all these kids are playing Switch. And it made me think, and I put this on Twitter, so if you follow me, you'll have seen this. I'm starting to think that the Switch may well be, if not there, certainly getting towards that mass popularity that the Wii captured so well. They've got us, they've got the kids now. They need to now grab that older audience, like the stories about the grannies playing Wii tennis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not far off, and I don't know. This is interesting, but that's why there's so much Nintendo news right now, because everyone's playing Nintendo. And on that note, Rocket League on Nintendo Switch will be getting visual modes this spring, and Xbox One X support later in this year. Psyonix have posted a detailed blog entry and basically what it means. So the Rocket League version of Switch is all right. Plays well, doesn't look particularly brilliant. It runs at, I think, I forget what it is. I think it might be sub 720, but it is 60 frames per second, and that is what you want from Rocket League. However, it does look rough. This update that they eventually release is going to allow people to play with at 900p, 60 frames per second docked, or 720p, 60 frames handheld, and that's performance mode. So the same as the way the Pro and the Xbox One X does. And there's going to be a new mode now called Quality Mode that goes for better visuals with a 30 frames per second frame rate. That's very interesting. I think that there are games now that are going to give you the options the same the Pro does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I mean, some games have been doing that anyway. Not the same, but you can do, like, you can turn VSync on and off, that kind of thing. Just little things. So I just wonder if stuff like the X and the Pro have kind of ushered in a bit of a new era where console games are going to be a little bit more PC-like, at least in customization. But
I wonder if this move, if more people do it, maybe Nintendo go, hey, we could release a Switch Pro. Because people are already developing a kind of Pro version. I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, again,
I don't want that.
No, nor do I. But I'm saying,
like, I don't like hearing Nintendo going down that route. Look, if it's needed, it's needed. But just like, I don't know. I had this like halo around Nintendo for just being, oh look, they have their thing. It's great. It's Nintendo. If they win this,
you go on. You've set it up, but go on, carry on. You've set up the next story beautifully for me.
Oh right. Sorry. No, it's just if a Nintendo Switch Pro comes out,
you'll buy it.
I will.
Yep. But speaking of having a halo around Nintendo, I wonder if your halo around Nintendo will drop, because now they themselves have confirmed there is a Mario movie happening. They are working on it with Illumination Entertainment, who are the studio behind Minions and Despicable Me, and Shigeru Miyamoto is listed as a co-producer alongside the boss of Minions, Chris, I don't know, if I can write this, Meledandri. No word on a release date, no confirmation on who's playing Mario. What in the fucking hell is going on?
I think this is grand. I think this is like pretty cool. I think the Despicable Me movies did really well. I think the animation is perfectly suited for the likes of a Mario movie, and also we need a good Mario movie. Because that other thing that exists in the world is just a travesty.
Right, hang on. No, I'm going to stop you there. When did you last watch it?
Last year.
Moving on.
No joke.
Okay.
Why?
Because I was going to say, I don't think it's as bad as people make out.
Stop. You clean your mouth. They are foul words that are coming out of it.
Okay.
That movie is a travesty.
Okay. Is there anywhere like it's streaming? I kind of want to watch it again. I kind of want to watch Street Fighter. Is there anywhere that just puts bad gaming movies in? Because I kind of want to watch Street Fighter again as well. That was awful. Right? That was bad.
I'll get you a link for that movie,
Okay.
right? And if you come back to me and you still defend that movie,
Right.
just know and just remember, I know where you live.
Yeah, okay. I would like to
Okay.
try and watch the Mario movie again because my kids won't have seen it. My wife definitely won't have seen it. She might leave me after watching that. There's
It is
I think
abysmal.
what I'd like to see if they're doing this Mario, I know it won't happen. Mario and Rabbids.
I'd like to see Bob
they
Hoskins
did
as
that-
Mario again. Actually, is he dead? He's not dead, is he?
It's a
Yeah.
Is he?
oh god, yeah,
Oh,
he is,
that's
actually,
in
yeah.
terrible
Yeah.
bad taste. I did not. I apologise, Bob. Well, it doesn't matter. He's
You're not listening to the podcast.
listen. You ever seen someone with a shovel digging this hard, this fast? It's said. It's out there. People know I don't mean anything. I genuinely forgot he was dead because lots of people die, and
Adam Cook, what's the
shoveling.
next story? Jesus Christ, next story, please.
oh dear.
Wow.
Well, this is not much better news, to be completely honest with you. Nintendo
Just
Switch.
say it. Just say it's better than the last thing.
Definitely. Well, debatable. Nintendo Switch has not got a paid online service in the way that Xbox, PlayStation, and well, that's just it. Actually, those two have got. That service is starting in September. It will be about between £17 and £20 for a year's subscription, so much cheaper than everyone else's. And they haven't it's actually euros they've announced. So $20. I've flustered myself. €20 a year. Or €8 for 3 months, or €4 for 1 month. They haven't got UK pounds yet. They've kind of not said anything about what this is going to be. All they've ever said is that it's in a free trial until launch, which kind of suggests that you're just going to be paying for the same thing you've got now, which is fuck all. This is interesting, again, I think, because I think they've got quite a lot of work to do before September. So a friend of mine has just bought a Switch, massive Nintendo fan, but like a lot of people, hasn't got a lot of money, so he's finally been able to get one. He's already played Zelda on Wii U. He's now got Mario. He's loving the Switch. One of the first questions he said to me, "Has it got any apps?" And I went, "No." He goes, "What? No apps still?" I said, "Well, what do you want?" He goes, "YouTube, Netflix." No. I said, "He said, has it got a web browser?" No. He said, "What does it do?" I said, "It plays games." As a games machine, as a machine that plays video games, the Switch is incredible. As a home console in 2018, it's missing a lot of things you expect to find. Do we think that any of these features are going to hit before or when this service starts being paid premium?
I just find it weird that we're at that point now where the games consoles aren't just games consoles.
Yeah.
It's a very strange place to be. I mean, part of it I think is age-wise, because obviously we grew up with stuff like NES and all that kind of thing. We're not. It's a new thing, but it's very strange now. Sorry, being an old man there for a moment. I'm kind of on the fence. I like how it is now.
I'm the same. I don't want anything like that.
Yeah,
I like that when I'm playing on my Switch.
Again, actually, aren't we?
And when I'm playing on my Switch, I am playing a game. So for example, with Xbox, okay, my account, my youngest kid also uses, and there's a thing on Xbox. I don't know if you guys know, you can favourite someone. So if I favourite Chris, whenever Chris even appears online, when he turns his Xbox on, Chris White's online, and it's like 7 or 8 of my kids' friends, and I'm watching a football match on Sky Go or whatever, or playing a game of my own, or watching Netflix or whatever, and it's like fuck off. Not the child. The whole the concept of when I'm on my Switch, I am just playing a video game. I love achievements and I love trophies, but sometimes I'm playing a game and I kind of wish they were there on the Switch, but sometimes I also think, isn't this nice? I'm just playing a game. There's absolutely no distractions. But we do know there's going to be some kind of... I mean, look, the Switch, you can't even use Bluetooth headsets properly. You have to get an adapter, a dongle. There's a lot missing from that console that they can't really fix, I don't think. What they are going to do is there's going to be some kind of PS Plus games with gold thing, because they still say... Part of the perk is ongoing access to a library of games with added online play. That's the interesting part, by the way. It's added online play, such as Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario. But the company have also listed now there's going to be very attractive programs and content. It's all very mysterious.
See, this is what I was thinking as well, is that I do think come launch time of this, we will have Netflix and we will have YouTube. I think they're gonna be there, okay? But I think for people like ourselves, I think they're going to go down that route of if you're signed up for this, you get access to all the GameCube back catalogue that we'll release throughout time. Good. I think they're going to do that. They're going to bring out the SNES stuff, like the stuff that we had in the Wii U.
Well, I wonder if what Xbox have just done has made them rethink it and go, ooh.
I absolutely when Xbox announced it, I just went, yep, Nintendo are going to rob that. They're going to go for it, because if you think about it, it's what we want in the Switch. We want all those games. If they say, okay, all these things are here that were on the Wii U, but we've also announced the GameCube one, here you go, and the first 2 games are going to come out, and it's this, and then throughout the year, we'll be building upon that. I'll sign up instantly.
Yeah, same.
I'll be like, perfect, I'm in. But if it's just for the likes of YouTube, Netflix, the internet browser, I'm not going near it. I don't need that. But the thing I
find interesting is that they've put with these games like Mario Bros 3 with added multiplayer. Yeah. Now, what does that mean? Yeah. Does that mean they're going to add some kind of like co-op or perhaps versus mode? Because I am all about that. That sounds amazing.
Didn't 3 have a versus mode?
Yeah, but it says added multiplayer. I don't think it had a versus mode. It might have had the original Mario Bros. Power Block thing, yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but it was like when you had little spiked Goomba type things.
I don't remember that. Mario Bros. 3 is one of my favourites.
It's like you jumped and hit the block underneath it to turn it over.
Oh, you're talking about that's like their version of Mario Bros. The original, where there's a power block in the bottom and there's things coming out the pipes at the top.
Yes,
that's kind of. But I suppose it could be that with online. But no, they've already released that. They've already released the original Mario Bros, haven't they?
Yeah,
that's already on Switch.
They might not necessarily mean those 3 games. They might just say these are 3 that you'll have, but more in the future will have
possibly
online. Like if the original Mario Kart.
I would love that on September, wake me up when September comes, whatever, when they do that, when this all goes paid, I would love it if they also went, oh yeah, and we've also done away with friend codes, you can now just be Jeepers F, you can now be Adam's Oaks, brilliant, you can do all that, here's this, that and the other, like, yeah, we've done chat, I mean, that's another thing, you can't even send a message.
Yeah, they do need to tidy up a lot of these things.
Do they though? Do we really want that? That's what I'm saying, do we really want them to take this away from being just a games machine? You can play online.
I think you need to, if they're going to do this thing, I mean, stuff like the chat needs to be refined.
Does it?
I think they are bringing in audio chat.
Well, they have to, because that iOS thing is that. Well, the mobile app is a dreadful idea.
Oh yeah, that is poor.
But,
Jesus.
Again, if you want, I'll play devil's advocate. I've been doing it all evening, so. Is it really that big of a hardship? I mean, everyone's got their smartphone on them. I mean, the whole idea is... No, I can't. It's stupid. It's just stupid. I can't do it.
Yeah. I do think that... I mean, Nintendo have done a lot right with the Switch. And I think they will take that and kind of run with it. So I do think that they'll get it up to scratch. Whether it's straight away or whether we'll have to sort of wait. I mean, think back to like the Xbox One. How good it is now compared to what it was 2 years ago. And hopefully it won't take Nintendo that long. But
well, it will have, because September is 18 months.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I think it's one of those that it could go either way. I think it's just a little too early to totally write them off.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Very briefly, just in case you didn't know, Overwatch on Xbox One got an update recently. There was some nerfs and patches and stuff in there. We won't go deep into that, but it was also to give the Xbox One the 4K treatment, so that's cool. Right, finishing up with the news then, we have 2 Sony stories, I think one downer and one massive plus. The downer is that Kaz Hirai is stepping down as boss of PlayStation, and he's being replaced by the financial officer, Kenichiro Yoshida.
Ridge Racer!
That's him. You got him. That's the guy. Always kind of had a soft spot for Kaz. Kind of think he seems like an alright guy.
Yeah.
Said some stupid stuff, like we tried to justify the PS3 $600 launch. Yeah, that was a hard one. He's always, he's he always comes across okay. I don't know, but in other news, keeping with that, PS4 has now passed the 75 million milestone. 9 million units shifted over Christmas. 76.5 million consoles have shipped.
That's insane.
Woof.
That's the PlayStation Plus point.
They must be worried.
Yeah. And they put the financial officer in charge of the division, so they'll be all right, won't they?
I think so.
Right, moving on to listener.
Hashtag pray for PlayStation.
Oh God. Listener correspondence. Kevin Kisan or Agent_Prince asks, what extra Dragon Ball fighters would you like to see added to the roster of Dragon Ball fighters? Anyone? Am I the only one who's going to be able to answer this?
Yeah, because I don't remember Dragon Ball.
There's just so many that I wouldn't know where to
So many
start.
memorable anime characters. Bulma is in the game in the cutscenes. I'd quite like her to be somehow playable because if I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z for 10 plus years, but she's Vegeta's wife, and in old days, where things were a bit more sexist than that, she was the one who does the cooking, but she was also like, if you pissed her off, she was like a force to be reckoned with, and I think that would correspond well in the game. Raditz is someone I'm surprised isn't in the game because he was Goku's brother and one of the very original characters you meet, if I remember correctly, one of the first bad guys. And also Mr. Satan is surely going to be DLC because he will be like the Dan, if you want to go Street Fighter wise. He's like in the series, he's kind of like the human world's kind of, I'm Mr. Satan, I'm so strong and big and strong, and he's all muscly, but he's actually obviously just a big wimp because these guys are Super Saiyans. And I think he could be like the Dan of the series, and that would be fun and funny. That's about it. I can't really think of any others. I had to Google them, to be completely honest, to remind myself of any of the characters that were missing. So Dane Wilkinson at Dane Wilkinson 85 asks, and this is a cracking question, with new review codes arriving all the time, I would assume you're frequently pulled away from games you're really enjoying. What's the best game you never found time to finish, and are you likely to go back? Anyone want to start?
Yeah, I can. I will say Persona 5.
Okay. Yep.
Will I go back? Not unless it's handheld.
Okay. Yep.
I just don't have time for it.
No, that's completely fair. Anyone else?
Yeah.
I'd probably go with Battle Chasers because I really enjoyed that game, and obviously there's been a lot of reviews since that came out.
You've been pulled away for your 25 a week review assignments.
But yeah, it's like I really want to go back to it and play, but I've not found the time. I can't say not totally because I've started other games.
Yeah,
because I'm stupid like that. But yeah, I need to go back to that. I want to go back to that.
Chris,
I'm going to go to a game that I played before writing for God is a Geek a long time ago.
Okay.
I have never finished, and I've tried 3 times to finish BioShock, and I still haven't finished.
Chris.
And I don't know
the first one.
The first one. I finished Infinite. Like I became obsessed with that.
Have you had it spoiled?
No.
Like
No.
Wow, really?
And I absolutely love the world. I think it's incredible. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know.
Have you got the definitive edition?
No. I want to.
Okay.
I want to go back. I want to because it's on PS4, isn't it? So
yeah.
I want to play it again, but I just don't know when I'm going to do it. But I do want to play it. So BioShock, yeah.
I actually got a slight bit dizzy there when you said that.
I feel a bit sick. Mine, I would also agree with you on Persona 5, Adam. Such a brilliant game, but I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I think I did. I apologise if I'm repeating myself, but when our reviewer Mikhail, his news editor Mikhail Madnani, when he finished the game, and we had that game mega early, so he finished it long time before it came out. And I was playing it along with him for a bit, but when he told me how many hours he'd clocked, I sort of stopped about 15 to 20 hours in and went, nah, it's not going to happen. There's just no way I can give 110 hours to any game.
No.
I want to, but I almost need to clone myself and go, right, your job is just literally either you play Persona 5 while I carry on with life, or I play Persona 5 and you do nothing but my life. Because there's just no way.
Yeah.
The other game... the other game gives me a beautiful chance to mention Horizon Zero Dawn.
Ding ding!
Because that is exactly what happened. I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Chris and I both were. And I think I said I was 8 or 9 hours in. This was February. We got that game lovely and early as well. And I think that there's reasons for that. And then Zelda arrived. And I was reviewing Zelda, and Chris was reviewing Horizon Zero Dawn. And so I realised straight away how big Zelda was. The rumours were already around that this was a large game. So Horizon just got shelved till I finished Zelda for the review. And by the time I'd done that, more stuff was coming out. And that's why Horizon I didn't go back to for 8 months. And like that is just how it goes sometimes. I wanted to play more Horizon. I was slightly burnt out. Like I said at the time, I felt like it wasn't as good as everyone was saying, and then I went back to it. And obviously, we've all heard the podcasts. I don't know, there's probably other games. I mean, there's probably lots of games. But then part of me also believes that if you really wanted to play it, you would go back. If you really wanted to play that game.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
No?
Like, look at the rate that games are coming out.
True.
Like, it's hard. It's hard going, like, to get through it. Like, I still even haven't played the DLC for The Witcher. And, like,
same.
You need to
really want to. Like, I really want to.
See, I've lost my save for that. So I reviewed. That kind of is a similar situation because I reviewed The Witcher 3 and finished it, obviously, but I finished it on a debug console. Now the debug, we've talked about this as well. The debug save for that did not transfer over, and since then that game has had so much updates done to it, and all the DLC. And the problem there is that I had to start the game again. So I did. I started the game again, and I was like, I know how long this game is. And I think I put 6 or 7 hours into it the second playthrough, and I can't do this.
Yeah.
So and then I bought it on Xbox One X as well to try it for the X update, the 4K and all that. And I was like, I really want to try this. And again, I installed it, and I can't.
Before we move on, I just want to say, Chris, on Amazon, Bioshock 1, 2, and 3, £24. Fix your life and get that game.
Jesus, that's not bad.
That's 20, man, like, that's, like, to not know the ending of the first Bioshock is, that is, I wish I was
I don't know how he's not
that ending is.
I'm sure I heard something ages ago, but because it's been so long, I've forgotten, so, yeah, I've got no idea.
Yeah,
I can't remember I can remember someone called Ryan, that's about it.
Oh,
is that right?
I would. It's a really strange one because there are lots of games, I don't know, that I would love to somehow find a way. I mean, I still haven't finished Street Fighter 5 story mode. I would like to see that through. Destiny 2, I would like to have finished. I was enjoying it, and then I just fell off of it.
Actually,
I'd quite like to see it through because you enjoy it when you're playing it, don't you? It's just getting to play it.
Yeah. Although I didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as the first. I don't know. There's something about the level design just wasn't as good.
See, Monster Hunter World might be going that way for me because I haven't played it in nearly a week, and I've reviewed 2 games since.
Once again, what are you, the stuff you're saying this evening, Adam Cook. I tell you. There
are lots of games. I think I'm literally glancing over at my shelf. That there's, I don't know. There's just so many bloody games nowadays. And Chris Hyde at Chris Hyde 83 has sort of added an additional question. This one's a harder question. I can't think of too many. He says, in addition to what Dane's asked, have there been any games you've felt a bit ambivalent about reviewing when you've got the code come in and then you've just been blown away by it?
Hellblade.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, really? Would you have been? Yeah.
I like because not a lot was seen in the run up. There was only like a short kind of gameplay video released a couple of weeks on IGN, and then I saw that and thought, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. And then I got to play it, and I was fixated with it. I just fell in love with it. Like, it was just incredible, and that blew me away.
Yeah.
I going into that just being like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be all right. I mean, it's Ninja Theory, so it was always gonna hold some hope for it. But no, that for me is one of the games that's really kind of blew me away when I wasn't expecting. I'm sure there's more, but yeah,
I would say Watch Dogs 2. Because Watch Dogs 2, I kind of had a feeling it was because there was a talk of, this is the Assassin's Creed thing where the first one sets the sort of bar quite low, but there's potential, and then the second one blows you, and that's what it did. And I thought Watch Dogs 2 was absolutely fantastic. I loved Watch Dogs 2.
I tell you what, man, I love both.
Really? Blimey, I didn't like the first one.
I was a big fan of 1, and I was actually a big fan of 2, but I actually found some things in 2 that were missing from 1. I was just like, I wish that was in there again. I don't know. It was weird. I played them both at a very close time to each other. Do you know? If I had to pick one, and if it was the game that it is now, I would say Siege.
Yeah,
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
Because if someone gave me that game, I'd be like, I'm not going to like this game at all. There's no way. But if it was the game now, I'd be very much like, whoa, it's incredible.
Mine is the one I've just reviewed, the Iconoclast.
Oh, Iconoclast. Well, Celeste again for me, actually. Well, no, that's not fair. I wasn't ambivalent.
Well, the thing is, I think for me it's because
Had you heard of Iconoclast? You hadn't, had you? And I just literally said, can you review this game? And I had a feeling it was going to be good.
Yeah, that's it. I knew nothing of it. It's like, oh, all right, cool. You know, I'll stick it on.
See, trust in Adam, that's the thing. And that goes for any Adam. That's not just me.
Yeah.
Just trust in Adam's.
But yeah, I mean, that's now a game which I think I'll be championing at the end of the year for Game of the Year.
I need to go back to that, actually.
I absolutely
I
adore
must
that
play
game.
it.
I've just thought of an ultimate one for me, Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I went into that because I'd not already played the first one all the way through.
That's right.
I was like, yeah, it looks all right, and then that blew me away. So that was probably more so than Hellblade last year. Yeah.
I'm just literally glancing at my shelf.
Not letting that one go higher.
No, he's not going to let that go. Nor should he. Nor should he.
No, he shouldn't.
I mean, be with me on my deathbed. I know it.
I don't think I reviewed this one, but
Be on the gravestone.
Shadow of War was good.
it was you fuckers in brackets. The only one I mentioned as well. Like again, I don't think I was blown away by it, but there's two others that spring to mind. Resident Evil Revelations 2, I was expecting to be all right, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah. Catherine is another game I wasn't really expecting anything from, and I love that game. But it happens. It does happen, but. Not often enough, I guess. It's time to say goodbye.
Bye.
Actually, could I say one thing beforehand?
If you must.
Because people might have been going crazy up to this point. We were talking about a game that we couldn't remember the title of.
Yes.
I think it's Oceanhorn.
That's the one! Good man yourself!
so that everyone listening along now has got closure.
Okay. No, I'm glad you did that.
Good
we didn't want to get emails about the corrections.
Jesus.
Yes, well done. That's not the one I was thinking of. Never mind. Shit, what was the one I was thinking of? Well, that...
You were saying
yeah,
goodbye.
no, I'm now thinking that what was the game I was... Oh, God, it was Chronicles.
Tune in next week to find
don't
out.
start
No, okay, well, Adam said goodbye, and you can say hello to him at Adam Zokes on Twitter. Chris is at First Avenger 83. Gary is at Blue Fury 47. I'm at Jubasef, and of course, God is a Geek at God is a Geek, where you can find all the news, previews, reviews, videos, podcasts, stuff. You can also go to patreon.com/God is a Geek if you enjoy this podcast, and you'll get about 20 minutes extra, and you'll have already heard it earlier than everyone else for $1 a month. And I think in January we delivered 5 podcasts in that first month of the year. There were that many weeks of the year, weeks of the month, and every one of those was delivered at least at the latest by Tuesday. Most, I think, of all of them were delivered on Monday, and they were all 15 to 20 minutes longer, apart from last week's, where we had run out of time, essentially. But I think that's well worth going and having a look at. You get videos early. There was an exclusive video where I unboxed the Dissidia. Oh, hang on, let me get the game name right. The Dissidia Final Fantasy NT press kit, which included a energy drink that I didn't drink because I don't want to die. I unbox that especially for the Patreons, and I do stuff like that whenever we get stuff that we think they might like to have a look at. They get early videos. Listen, go to patreon.com, $1. Just consider it. If you like us, thank you. Maybe if enough people do it, I'll stop having to do this into the podcast, which must be really annoying to hear, but I'm not going to stop. Not this time. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to catch more of our stuff, just type God is a Geek into Google, followed by Facebook, Twitter, the website, whatever. You'll find something there. Guys, thank you for being here, as always.
Thank you.
We will see you next week, or whenever you choose to listen. Bye-bye for now.